Everyone, and welcome back to DIY with Melissa. Of course, I'm Melissa and I have a fun project for you today. Today I'm giving you all the tricks and tips on how to get this vinyl to stick. It is really very simple. We're going to go through how to prepare the wood to get the vinyl to stick. And without further ado, we're going to head down to the craft table and get this project started. So we have our piece of wood here. I just got the guy at Home Depot to cut it for me, and preferably you should get it a fine blade to cut it with, because I'm not sure if you can see, but it's a little choppy at the end here, but we'll make this the back part so it's not a big deal. Once I do that, so this is a 12-inch by 5.5-inch board, and I just have some sandpaper here. This is so old. 100 grit, so it's a fine sandpaper that I'm going to use. I am going to put some gloves on because secretly I cannot stand sandpaper. I don't like the sound of it scratching or whatever, but anyways, I will survive. I just got some construction paper here just to protect the surface, and we're literally going to go ahead and just sand the top ever so slightly. I do want to sand this pen mark off, so I will do that. And the sides, of course, as well. Preferably do this outside if you can. I don't have a lot of sanding to do, so I'm going to do this quickly here. A sanding block would be so much better, and I can't find my sanding block anywhere, but I got to search for that. We'll do all the sides to make sure they're nice. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to just get a wet paper towel so I can wipe this down and clear up my surface, and then I will be back to stain it. So just literally a wet paper towel just to get this all cleared up. Now that your wood is ready, we are using the Rust-Oleum True Brown Wood Stain, and I'm actually just going to take some paper towel and get some onto the paper towel. I'm going to start with the back first and just get it on. You want all of the crevices. Once you're happy with the look, you will let this dry thoroughly. And it's really dark here and not as dark here. So I might just wipe it some more to get some of that color out. Please note, I am not a woodworker in the least. I just test out different things and see if it works. So if you're here for a real woodworker, I'm not the page for you, as I'm just having fun and testing and seeing how things are going. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm gonna let that thoroughly dry, and I don't think I'm gonna add any more back here. The can says to let dry for an hour. So I'm going to do all of the sides now, and I'm going to hope that I can do this a little bit less so it's not so dark. A little bit goes a very, very long way. So just be, I would just suggest to go slow take your time with it. I would say that looks really good. I'm going to put a little bit more back here. We're going to let that dry thoroughly. Like I said, it's set for an hour. And once it's dry, I'm going to put the varnish that I'm going to use on top. The varnish I'm using is the Rust-Oleum Wood Stain True Brown color. I actually got this for 99 cents at Ollie's, I think a year or two ago maybe. So to my American friends and to my Canadians who happen to go over to America to do some shopping, hit up Ollie's. You will be glad you did. They have, I don't even know how to explain the type of store it is, but I love it. We go every time we cross the border. So I'll let that dry thoroughly and we'll be back with the rest. Okay, we are now ready to varnish this. The varnish I always use is Deco Art's Duraclear Satin Varnish. This is good for indoor and outdoor projects. And just so you know, I have used it on outdoor projects already, and those projects are still going, which is really great. So keep that in mind, but any varnish will work. This is my favorite. And I have a ton of it because for some reason my Michaels had it on clearance. Every time I go, it's on clearance, and my kids constantly have me picking up and picking up and picking up, which is fine. Now I have a lot. So. And it's really simple to use. We're just going to just paint it right onto the board. So I will start with the top of the board, let that dry thoroughly, and I'm just going to keep adding more and more coats to it. I believe I usually add 3 coats. So I think about 3 is my go-to. It does dry really quickly, so you don't have to wait long in between. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to let that go ahead and dry. I'm going to continue on putting the coats. I'm going to do all of it. I won't put 3 on the back of the board, but I will do 3 for the front and the sides of the board. So I'm going to go ahead, get this all varnished, and then I'll show you the end result. Our wood is now varnished. I actually had to do this like 6 times. I'm not really sure why, but it was feeling really rough, so I just wanted to make sure we had a good base. I did the back, I think, a couple times, but it is back, so it's not a big deal. And I cut this from Design Space to fit it on, and I will show you right now how I went about doing that on the computer. All right, so I'm going to quickly show you how to go about creating the design, or not creating it, how I found the design. So I went to images and I searched up welcome home, and a few options came up. This is not to say you can't create your own. Most definitely, if you feel like it, do it. But there were some really good options here that I decided to choose from instead. I chose this one here. Just please keep in mind, if you're selling this project, keep in mind that Cricut does have an angel policy. Please review that before you start selling. So here it is. I just size it. I brought in a rectangle and sized it to the size of my square, which is 12 inches by 5.5 inches. I like to change the color to the color that it's going to be approximately. And I brought in the welcome home, sized it to fit on this rectangle, align center, and that looks pretty good to me. I think that's a good spot to cut it at. And yeah, I'm going to cut this on permanent vinyl. I will just hide the rectangle in the back to go ahead and cut the design. That's how simple it is for this design. everything is cut, we're going to weed it quickly. Set that aside. Everything is weeded now, and we're going to get our transfer tape. I am reusing transfer tape, of course. That's what I seem to do best. Get the transfer tape on. I've reused this top piece quite a few times, so I'm not even sure if it's going to work for me anymore, but we'll try it out to see. It worked out. Now we will give it a good scrape front and back. Pull the backing off. Do this slowly. Any pieces that may get caught, just push it down with your thumb or whatever finger, as you see me doing right there. And just take your time. You don't want to rip your vinyl. Now, this board is 12 inches. Oops, doing it the wrong way. 12 inches right here. Okay, so this board is 12 inches long. Our middle mark is right here, and this is going to be placed. I'm going to start with the home portion. If you feel a little uneasy sticking this down so quickly, I highly recommend getting a piece of butcher paper or parchment paper or wax paper, placing that on the surface where everything is going to be stuck, because your vinyl will not stick to this butcher paper. I am using butcher paper, but like I said, wax paper or parchment paper will also work. So now I can place this down. And it's a little bit staticky, but I think we're okay. Has to go over some. There we go. Now, what you want to do is stick your bottom part on, or any part that you can stick. You want to stick it on. Give it a good look. That looks really good to me. I think we are in a good spot as far as being centered is. And then you'll raise your butcher paper, parchment paper, whatever the case may be, upwards. So as you can see, my letters are not sticking. My vinyl's not sticking to the parchment paper. And we'll just slowly make our way down. Don't rush the process. Take your time. It will all work. And there you go. I'm going to use my scraper with the felt on the side. I just don't want to damage my wood, so we'll do it that way instead. And we'll give it a good push to make sure all that vinyl is on, and then we'll start removing the transfer sheet. So if for any reason your vinyl is not sticking, you can take a blow dryer or a heat gun and use that to help. Pressing down with this scraper a little bit more will also help. And starting from the corner and working your way across that way is also the best way to do this. So looks like I'm going to be doing, okay, let's get these small pieces off, because I was reusing transfer tape. I had that issue there, but it's not too big of a deal. And you just want to work slowly. Oops, that's coming off there. We'll put our finger over it. And that's why you want to work slowly, to be able to capture everything from the top to the bottom. You want to make sure everything is sticking with no issue. Voila. And that's it. Our sign is complete. I love how it looks. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hooks at the back. The hooks I'm using are these sawtooth hangers, and you just want to, I'm just going to take one of them, and I think it goes, yes, this way. So you want your center point. So I'll use my ruler again. So that looks pretty good to me. It does come with nails, these little tiny nails, so wish me luck. I did have to do this once before and a little bit of a headache, but it'll work. All right, I found a hammer. That was my issue. I could not find this hammer for the life of me. So we're gonna put this guy here. I'm going to check out sizing, and I have a smaller hammer that's pink that I can't find, which was a better one to use, but what can you do? Okay. So I'm just gonna push this into here. These nails are so small. I think I might actually hang on to it this. I did indent a small hole, so I'm just gonna actually do this to get it going, and hopefully that will hold when I'm trying to hammer. Oh, perfect. So I'm just using these, I don't know what these are called, pliers maybe? Forgive me, I am not a tool person in the least, but I have the tools to do what I need to do. That makes me happy. So, like I said, I think these are called pliers, so I'm going to put the pliers here. And to those judging me, please don't judge. I'm trying. Okay, get this going. Looks good right there. Take a quick peek. That looks really good and really even. So now I can just go. I'm going to turn this around. And voila. Our hang-in plaque is complete. And there you have it. How simple was that to create this gorgeous wood sign? I will post up here another one that I did. This one had, the one I did had names on it. So yeah, you can design till your heart's content. This one that I'm showing you is one that I designed myself. Well, this one, as I showed you, was a design I found on Design Space. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to give me the thumbs up, hit that bell button so you're notified when I post new videos, and of course, subscribe to my channel. Until next week, I hope you have a fabulous week ahead. Happy crafting. It is craft month, so get those crafting situations going. Take care. Bye now.